What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Q here with another Golf Club 2 career tournament. As last tournament we had a heartbreaker, as we had the lead when we finished our round and we got passed up at the end of when everybody else finished their round and we finished second place. So hopefully we'll get some revenge this time. At the end of this tournament, we're going to show you the standings and how it all looks and with points and whatnot as we come up here on this first hole. Perfect tee shot. Hopefully this shot can look pretty decent. Looks like it's going to get on the green with that wind. Hopefully it sits down a little bit, as there is a strong wind on this first hole to start this tournament, so we'll see how we do. I think it's the Canadian Open, Canada Open. One of the two, so
this putt's for birdie.
It should be a fun course here, as we have a little 27 footer for birdie here. Ooh, just on the right edge, and we hit that pretty hard. I didn't think we hit it that hard, but it's rolling a good 20 feet by the hole here, so we're gonna have an uphill putt to try to save par here.
21 feet to go.
That's a decent look at par there, but we're going to walk away with bogey on this first hole with a not so great 3-putt. So not the start we wanted here, as this is another one-round event. So we're going to have to fight for that win if we want it. We came so close to our first win last tournament. It really was unlucky that we didn't get it. I really thought we were going to walk away with a win there. As we come up with our tee shot here, I try to keep it low and punch it out of the wind there. It was a pretty difficult par 3 here. I mean, 220 something, 221 into the 15-mile-an-hour wind. Really tough hole here. As we're going to chip it out this bunker here. Decent chip there, not our best chip, but it's a decent chip, as we're going to get a look for par here, as 10-footer uphill, right to left break, and we just missed that putt on the right side. So we're going to bogey to start this tournament here. So not a great start. This wind is really having a factor on us here, and these first two holes have been pretty difficult, I'd say. I mean, you got a 500-yard par 4 and then a 221-yard par 3 into the teeth of the wind there. As we hit this tee shot pretty straight, and that wind should help that ball get up there. We shouldn't have too much into this par 4, as we get a nice little roll down the hill there for another 300-yard drive.
From here,
as we have 111 yards into this green here. I think we're going to club down and then de-loft here and see what happens. As the wind should push that one back to the right there, as it does, and we carry a little long there, but it sits down rather quickly, so we have a chance at birdie here.
This one was for birdie.
So we have a 28-footer, and we just missed that left, so it's rolling down the hill. Thought it was going to be a pretty short look at par there, and it just kind of kept rolling.
And about 8 feet to the cup.
Nonetheless, we still make that par to stay at +2 on this tournament, as we're in a tied for 7th here. As we come up to this par 5, so this is a chance to get one of our shots back here. As long as we can control the ball here. Oh, we push it dead left. That is not very good with that wind too. Terrible tee shot there. Because now we're going to have to chip out here. Let's see what we can work with here. That felt like a pretty decent shot there, but it carried way through the fairway there as we catch the cart path here. So we are making a mess of this hole right now. Not a great start to this tournament. as there's water short, so we're probably going to have to lay up here. And we just hit a little iron out of here. I think it was a 9, maybe a pitching wedge. So now we're going to have to chip up here.
It'll be a bit easier to hit from here.
Hopefully one putt to even save par. Not a bad shot there. Got a little bit spin off that hill right there. So we'll see if we'll get a chance to walk away with par here with this putt. As we do, and that is a beautiful putt there right in the center of the cup. To stay at +2 as we move to a tie for 5th now. So that was a very bad tee shot on that last hole, and we still managed to scramble around there and walk away. As we're going to try to cut a corner here, see how well that works. As we push it left, but that wind should help keep it straight there. Hopefully it does not go through the fairway, as it looks like it's going to. As it stays in the light rough there. Another 300-yard drive with that wind. And should be a decent shot if we get a lucky bounce here, as we do not. It takes a hard bounce to the right and goes straight into this bunker. So this course has been giving us hell so far. Not gonna lie, it's been tough on us so far to start this round, after we've had a good round in the last tournament and in the country club tournament there. As we have a 15-footer here. And we just missed that to the left. So we're going to walk away with bogey on this hole to get to +3 on the tournament. So we really just need to settle down here and take it stroke by stroke here and try to climb back up this leaderboard. Because at this rate we're not going to be having much of a chance to get a victory if we keep playing like this. As we push this one right, and with that wind it's really going to go far right, as we're going to hit some trees here.
And this shot is taken through the branches.
So not a great tee shot there, not what we wanted to see.
Oh, I'm not too sure about this one.
Not a great approach shot out of there either. Should have really thought a little more about that shot instead of just going up and trying to hit it. As we end up in the heavy rough here. That's a pretty decent shot out the heavy rough there to get onto the green. And it's going to stop a little bit past pin high there, as we're going to have a pretty long putt to the flag there to try to walk away with par.
And this to save
as we got a 23-footer. The break got the best of that putt and just took it to the right there. Did not read that at all. I mean, pace was great on that putt, but for that line, it was not where we need to aim. As we move to +4 now, as we steadily drop down the leaderboard here. As we come up on this par 5, we really need to find a fairway here. As I feel like that's a real good tee shot there, and the wind is just taking that. Hopefully we get a good bounce here as we almost made the fairway. So we're gonna have to hit a little iron up here. If we take the 1 iron and whack it up the fairway there. So we're gonna get a chance to get on this green in regulation here. Hopefully we can dial it in and throw a dart in there and keep it close. As we have about 136 yards here into that wind. See what we can do here.
Here's a 9-iron.
So we hit 9-iron coming in. It's working back toward the flag. Slightly long, but not a bad shot at all. Probably about 4 yards long or so.
And this putt's for
As we have a 9-footer here. 4 inches down, so it's really going to be a tricky putt here. I mean, we're just barely going to tap that putt as we make that birdie putt. That was a real tough putt. If that would have missed the hole, it would have went on forever. As we move to +3, we only move up 1 spot on the leaderboard, but I'll take it as we come up into this par 3 here. We're going to de-loft here and try to work it with that wind.
I think that's a 5-iron.
It's working back toward the flag, but I think it's a little long here. Not a bad shot there. Really tough wind on this course today. It's giving us trouble. And some severe slopes I've been seeing on these greens. As you can see, this one just rolling down the hill here. As it rolls off the green, I believe, yes. As we have to chip now. As we hit a little chip here, gonna work it back toward the flag, and it just checks up.
And to save the
And we have a 7-footer here to try to save par. And I think we missed that left. Yeah, we missed that left. Did not read that well, and it's just rolling down the hill. As you can see, it stopping between his legs there.
And about 8 feet to the cup from here.
So we managed to walk away with bogey there. So the stroke we just picked up, we just drop it back immediately as we stay in the same position as we were. I mean, I think maybe a +1, and I'd be happy with that because it's been a real tough course to play today. Because we're going to try to work it against the wind here. And we kind of pushed it left, so that really didn't help as we hit that tree there. So we try to work it against the wind and kind of keep it straight, but since we pulled it left, it really did not help us out there. And we have 103 into this green here. That felt like a much better shot there, as it manages to barely reach the green there. So we're gonna have a pretty long chip. It looks like it's gonna as it's gonna roll off the green there with all that slope. So we have about a 15-yard chip here. And we hit a decent little chip there. I mean, these greens are tough there. As you can see, the ball is just rolling there. I mean, this is really tough greens on this course here. So we have a 15-footer here. And ooh, that one manages to lip out there. That would have been a big save there for par.
That's about a few feet from the cup.
So we walk away with another bogey, and I believe that is going to be +5 after 9 as we just keep dropping down the leaderboard. So after a great last tournament, we come up to this one and we just have not played well. I mean, we've had some bad shots, but I really feel like this wind and these greens have been what's hurting us most, because most tee shots like that one are pretty decent, and that one barely made the fairway, and it still might roll off the fairway. So hopefully we can dial it in here and try to get one back.
5-yard shot to the pin.
So I'm just going to let this 90-yard club ride in this wind and see what happens. It should check down whenever it lands, but yeah, it checks down pretty good there. Maybe should have de-lofted 1 or 2 clicks there, as we're going to have a pretty difficult chip here. I think I'm going to try to loft up here on this chip and see what we can do. Hopefully land it soft, as it just rolls hard off that down slope that the flag was next to. Very tough pin position there. You got to keep it to the right. So we have an 18-footer, and it's working back toward the hole, but not enough there. So it should be another bogey on this hole.
And about 4 feet from the cup. That putt's gonna drop.
So we found out that we need to work on our
Alright, and
swing
our
in the
leader
wind.
in the score to beat today is currently
We really need to work on that so we
setting up
can read the wind here,
par 4 hole.
so we can catch more fairways even when it's 16-mile-an-hour winds like this. As you can see, that ball just carries hard left there, and it's probably going to reach the rough or that bunker. Yeah, it barely gets into that bunker there. So not a great shot there. That one's actually a pretty decent shot, heading right toward the flag. That was a really nice shot out the bunker there, but it's just going to work down that slope again. Really tough greens on this course, as I said. That one probably landed 10 feet short, and it's probably going to end up being about a 35 footer or so with how much it rolled back off the slope there.
26 feet from
so we have a 26 footer, 1 foot uphill. Just gotta make sure you get it up the hill, which that's a pretty decent putt there. So we're gonna walk away with par on this hole here. So not a great tournament here. Really hoped we could walk away with a victory today with that momentum we got on the last tournament, but it has been a different story here. This one is going to be a little iron here, heading toward the middle of the green. Checked up really nicely there. So it's a little bit past pin high there. Pretty medium length putt here. It's going to be 5 inches down. We're just going to try to work it back toward the hole there. Looks really good as we blow it by the hole, but it was tracking toward the hole for a while there, and we roll off the green. So we took a chance of trying to go for it there, and it probably wasn't the best idea as we have a little chip here. And that one just burns the edge of the hole there, as we're probably going to walk away with another bogey here. As we do. So we really need to work on our hitting in the wind, and we need to work on our putting on these greens that are severely sloped, as we have been struggling here with our approach shots running back away from the holes most of the time, and then we have these long putts with all these breaks. We've been really struggling with them as we hit a nice tee shot here all the way through the fairway for another 300-yard drive. So with this wind, it has been giving us some distance, which we have needed, because it's a pretty long course here. But it has also cost us a couple of fairway hits as we hit this little iron here, and it looks like a decent shot here. It's a pretty good shot there as it runs on a little bit.
Alright, and now he's on.
Should have a decent chance here for birdie. We'll just try to keep it close to try to save par, as we barely tap that one, and it still goes 7 feet past the hole there.
This putt's about 7 feet.
So these greens are got a little bit of pace to them as well as slope, so it's a really tough course condition today. As we're through 13 and we're +7. Then we have a par 5 here into the teeth of the wind. That one might leak out to the right a little bit, but I think it should hold the fairway, as it just holds the right side of the fairway here on this par 5. So we do have another Deer for Life Country Club event going on now. I do believe it's the Winter Open or Winter Classic. Feel free to come join. It's on one of our custom courses. It's the Deer for Life winter course, so if you're interested in that, just give it a look. Feel free to play it. We should have some videos coming up with the Deer for Life custom courses coming up,
And
so
this
you guys can
for
see them and
third.
have a look at them. As this
Ooh,
putt
that was very
lifts
close.
out, that I do believe that was a birdie putt right there that
This putt's about a 2-footer.
we just
And now let's
weren't really
take a
paying
look and see
attention
how
to.
things
I
are going
thought it
on
was
the
going to be a
leaderboard.
straight putt, and we just pushed it out to the left
Unfortunately,
side
moved down in the standings after that one.
as we come up on 15 here. So yeah, if you want to join the country club and play in some events, or just look at some of our courses, go right ahead, feel free. We're just going to take it out these trees here. I mean, this tournament's pretty much over, so might as well just go up there and start whacking the ball around. And that one looks like it's going to carry through the fairway here on this short
And
par
he won't be
4.
too pleased with that.
So then we hit our approach shot towards green. It
Well,
looks
I don't think this is going to be a happy
like it was
ending
going to
for
be
us.
coming at the flag, but there's a bunker short, and that's where we land. So now we're just going to chip it out the bunker here, and we get into the rough. So we've really had a bad tournament today. Hopefully we can come back in the next tournament and play a little bit better, because this is not looking very good for us, guys. Not at all.
And that one will drop for the bogey. And after that one, he's unfortunately
Plus
gonna be
8
moving
on the
down
tournament
in
now
standings.
with 3 to go.
Okay, and moving on to the 16th here.
Hopefully that wind carries it. And I
something like
think
is
this may
bound
be
for
in the
short
water,
stuff.
guys. The wind did not carry it like I was expecting it to.
And from here, about
Now we have
210 yards to the
212
pin.
into this hole here. This is a
This is
long
the
par
3
4. I
iron,
didn't
I
even
believe.
realize it until I saw how much this approach shot we had left in. Guess that's a decent little approach shot there. If only we didn't water it on our tee shot, as now we have a pretty long putt for
And this
par.
putt is essential for saving par.
As it's a foot downhill. So we're just going to tap this and see where it goes. And it goes to the right side there, kind of works back behind the hole, so we should have a short little uphill putt for bogey.
About 4 feet from the cup.
That's a good little putt there.
That'll be for bogey.
So we just keep dropping strokes here.
It looks like he moved down on the leaderboard.
It's been a tough tournament for us. It's not suited us
For us
very
is
well.
par 3. Let's see what happens.
And then we come up to this par 3 here. Long par 3.
Going with the
That
3 iron.
should be a decent tee shot right there. It's coming right at the flag. Really nice tee shot there. It's going to run off. Probably off the green here, as it didn't have enough angle there to kind of lay in softly and stick. Kind of had a deal off there. We had a nice chip shot that checks up right next to the flag there, so we have a tap in par here.
Drop for par.
As we come to the last hole, I believe now, as with 9 over. So not a great tournament here, as we're going to drop in the standings, I believe. So we're going to take it at that bunker there
It's gonna get sandy.
and hope for the best. And it just plugs up in that bunker. Not much of a chance there. With that wind, it wasn't really going to hold up. We were going to have to lay back quite a bit. And I mean, we're out of the tournament anyway, so we might as well just give it a shot and see what happens. Let's come up with 164 yards left into the screen here.
Going with the 7 iron on this
And
one.
we hit a 7-iron toward the flag. It's working right at the flag there. It's going to be long with that wind, but it's going to roll a little bit past. So we're going to have a little birdie chip here. And we'll see what we can do with it. That's not a decent chip there. Checks up about 2 yards short. So we're going to have this little 6-footer here for par to end the round and the tournament. And we make it. So we finish at 9 over on this tournament.
And folks, the
Not
event
even
is over
close
for
to
him.
anywhere
He's, not really
on top of the
going
leaderboard.
to be on the podium, so
Finished a tie for 37th. So that is not a great round there. As we're going to go back to the society and check out the standings real quick for y'all. Before that tournament, we were 4th in the standings. And now I do believe we probably fell off a little bit. So in the total points here, yeah, we dropped 1 position here as we have 491 points. So we are almost 300 points behind the leader there. As you see Reed right there, who stole that victory from us, is in 3rd currently. And then you have total earnings. We are in 4th with 265 earnings so far. And then we have no victories. And you can look at our stats real quick. So we played in 4 events where scoring average is a plus 4.6, best score is 66, longest drive 318. And then we have 2 top 20s, 2 top 10s, 12 birdies. So not a great start, but we're in the top 5 in points right now, so that's got it going for us. Hopefully we can come back to this next event, which is the Lunenburg Open, I believe. Lunenburg Classics. Hopefully we can come into that event and walk away with a top 5 or even a victory. And until next time, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below on what courses you like to see us play, or if you want to come join our country club. Until then, see ya.